2015. He highlighted areas of possible improvement and communicated his observations to the executive through a management letter. Concerns raised on the financial report and external auditor's report. After constructive scrutiny on the reports, financial statement, and the accompanying notes to the account, a few questions were raised and clarification were offered by the executive team and the external auditor. Afterwards, the financial report for the year 2015 was adopted with amendment by the Congress. Declaration of dividend. Having adopted the 2015 annual report and account, the Vice President, Mr. Kennedy Basisa, on behalf of the executive team, proposed a dividend of 290 million CFA to be shared to members based on their contribution as at 31st December 2015. An increase of 30 million CFA from the amount 260 million CFA declared in 2014. Observation made on the dividend proposal. The proposed dividend of 290 million was applauded by members. A motion for an adoption and declaration was immediately made and duly seconded. Any other business? No other business was brought up for discussion. Conclusion. Having exhausted the item on the agenda, the President commended members for their participation. Thereafter, the meeting was brought to a logical conclusion with a closing prayer and a dinner party. Thank you so much for your kind attention.
In March, April next year, we will present you a record of the proceedings for this year, and it will read 2016. Are we okay? No, for 2016. This is 20. If we are reading next year, the minutes we'll present will be for 2016.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's a prior year thing. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Any more? Pastoress. You would usually not add accounting year, but if that is what you wish, we will do it for you. Thank you. Our staff rep. Okay, okay, fine. So what you are basically saying is that let's have a list of all people who attended the meeting. Fine. This year, because we are doing the raffle, we have written names. So, and we will continue to do raffles. So we will have the list. We will do that. Thank you. Thank you, dear member, and my good friend Bashir. Our response from EXCO at the time was that it involves an additional cost. If you insist that we incur additional cost, so shall it be. Because the way we have always looked at this is basically to assume a fundamental requirement in our institution, that staff should be fluent in one language and have a working knowledge of the other. That's the assumption. It appears our assumption is wrong. We apologize. If you grant us the approval, we will do the translation, and we will charge the cost against whatever profit we make. If we get your approval, that's what we will do. So that's the first one. The second one was what? Interpreters. But again, if they are not available, and we're going to bring third-party interpreters, remember their rates are like $560 a day, and you would normally need about 4. As soon as we start talking about interpretation, we will have to have for the 3 languages, English, French, and Portuguese. Now, if you grant us approval and allow that all these be charged against the profit of Mutual, we will do it. all of us are members, we are all contributing, so you tell us. I mean, we are working for you and for ourselves. I think basically those are the two major ones. Those who support that we should present these documents in 3 languages, because once you start, you cannot do 2. You have to do, because all our members are from English, Portuguese, and French countries. So we have to do, if we are going to do, we have to do 3. So those who support that, we have these documents translated into all the 3 languages. Let's put our hands up. I think we need to be democratic on this one. 3. So 2. So 2 versus everybody. I think the motion is carried that we should continue with 1 language. We throw the motion to the floor again. Do you agree that we spend money for interpretation? Okay. So overwhelmingly overruled. But in line with democracy, please have the floor. In annual general meetings, where there is an issue requiring a decision, because we, members of EXCO, do not have the right to say yes or no, it is thrown back to the members. If the majority carries the day, end of story. For these 2 particular motions, the majority carried the day. And we are duty-bound as people you have elected to represent you to implement the decisions of the majority. As a result, even though the issues you are raising are correct, even though they are things that we should consider, the majority says no, they don't want any additional charge on their profit. And let's remember, last year, and you can see we have not put water on tables this year. Last year, we were asked not to do that, and we have stopped. So we don't have the authority to say we will do or we will not do. We can only come back to you and get the mandate, and we have got the mandate. So we will continue to present this report in English until the AGM takes a different decision. We will continue to pursue the policy that as and when interpreters are available in-house, we will use them, because that will be at no cost to us. Otherwise, we will continue the way we are going. Thank you. And having discussed all this, we will now move on to the motion for adoption of the minutes. My big brother has already moved the motion, Mr. Oku. Is there anybody to second the motion? Anybody to second Mr. Oku's motion? Okay, motion seconded by Esther Kalu. Thank you. So we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. The second one, again, which is close to our heart, is the fact that we will continue to grow the dividend year on year by 10%. Up to the cap of 5%, until such time that we get other high-yielding investment opportunities that will enable us to move the dividend beyond 5%. The third one that we promised you was that we will continue to comply with your directive, that when loans are applied for, unless there are issues, we will process and make available the money to you within 48 hours. Having said this, let me now start my report for the year. Distinguished members of our great union, of course, it is with great joy and satisfaction that I, on behalf of the EXCO, especially welcome you to this very important event, i.e. the 30th anniversary of the Mutual and the 2016 annual general meeting of this our great body. We remain indeed grateful to you for entrusting us with the responsibility of managing our Commonwealth, remembering that all of us have a stake in this mutual. The year clearly has been challenging, but you would accept that without the full support of our very senior leaders, we clearly could not have made progress. On this note, I want you to permit me to most respectfully pay what I would call a glowing tribute and also a glowing word of significant thanks to our amiable President of the ECOWAS Commission, who demonstrably clearly granted us audience in the course of the year, gave us very useful pieces of advice as to how we should run the Union, and pledged his unflinching support and also pledged his willingness to direct human resources to give us all the full support that we need to run this Union. 2016 was great because we got that enormous top-level support from His Excellency Marcel Alain de Souza. So let me invite everybody to just give a quick round of applause for him. And that was his first year, but he takes the welfare of staff at heart. It is very important for him, and he tacitly endorsed the operations of Mutual, and he encouraged us to continue to ensure that it grows from strength to strength. Let me also thank the heads of all the other institutions for all their support. We have witnessed some growth in numbers in Mutual, and without their support that would never have happened. In particular, let me also thank the heads of the ECOWAS agencies. They have also played a significant role in clearly making sure that Mutual continues to grow from strength to strength. You would realize that WAP, the Court of Justice, sent representatives in. All the other institutions actually sent apologies. Up to about an hour and a half ago, the Human Resources Commissioner had actually confirmed to be here. But because of an unforeseen circumstance, he is not here. And he has asked that we apologize to you, and that his absence is not a demonstration that he does not see the role Mutual is playing in terms of complementing the efforts of the Commission in meeting the welfare of the people. He is extremely commendable of our effort, and he basically has given us warm words of commendation and encouragement to hold this this AGM to a very successful end. I want to basically continue by recognizing and welcoming all the new members, which we have done already, also the guests of honor who are here, and of course, I also want to basically say on behalf of EXCO and on behalf of all of you, a very warm and significant thanks to Polo Homes for introducing this initiative that made available homes to staff without paying without paying any deposit at all. I also want, on behalf of EXCO, to thank Polo Homes for everything that they have done to make it possible for all staff who have moved onto the estate to move into their homes, have their issues sorted out, and to start enjoying not only the good ambience of their own homes, but also the pride of being a homeowner in Abuja. Ladies and gentlemen, having started with this, let me just move on quickly to talk about membership. As we sit today, we have a total membership of about 784 people, including myself and EXCO. Clearly, our drive to basically increase numbers yielded fruits in 2015 and yielded fruits in 2016 as well. We will continue this year to embark on our membership drive to basically grow the number of members. Remembering that we can only grow our capital contribution, we can also increase our loan portfolio, which is basically the source of our income by growing our membership base. We will, through this my report, seek your approval to continue with the membership drive that we started in 2015, so we can, as it were, grow our membership. Let me move on and just do a quick contrast that out of the membership of 784, in 2016, 749 had access to loans. This is a commendable number. This is significantly more than 95%. After cutting the 30th anniversary cake, our colleague and an old mutual member, one of the longest mutual members, gave us a story. And the story basically had to do with difficulty that staff encountered before the establishment of Mutual in accessing loans. This is a thing of the past. Congratulations to everybody for making sure that Mutual continues to grow and to grow and to grow strongly. It is not our effort alone. It is because of you that this has happened. Now, so now let me move on quickly to performance, because I'm sure lots of us are looking for numbers. Now, for 2016, and as you will see, the performance has been commendable. I am waiting for you to tell us whether it is significant or it is not, but it is commendable. The moves are great. In terms of members' contribution, we were able to grow the members' contribution by about 16%. In terms of fixed deposits, you will remember that last year I reported that we're able to move our investments into the 1 billion CFA range. This is basically to ensure that as and when we need cash to meet short-term requirements, it is available to pay. So we have moved it by 6.36%, i.e. from 1 billion to 1.1 billion to 1.2 billion in 2016. In terms of loan to members, we have grown that by about 22.4%. Again, it is all about saying, are we making sure that we are granting access to staff who need money for their pressing demands? The answer is yes. The next one basically has to do with asset loan finance, and I'm going to throw it back to members again. This has been on the decline from 2014 through 2015 to 2016. We will, as part of our request, place this as one major request to you. Interest on loans granted to staff, we have grown that by 20.14%, in line with the growth in the total loans that we have granted to staff. One key area that you tasked us last year to manage has to do with our cost. And the two main areas that you made us responsible for and said you hold us responsible for as well is interest expense and administrative expenses. I am happy to say that for the 2016 year, compared to 2015, we have reduced our interest costs by about 46.21%. And this basically had to do with keeping under control whatever overdraft facilities that we needed to take to meet your short-term requirements. We managed our funds so well that we didn't need to do that. In terms of administrative expenses, we have reduced that by about 13.6% as well. We will continue to try to keep this cost under control, because that is the only way we can grow the profit. Now, having done all these, our profit, our excess of income over expenditure grew by about 26.83%. It is a combination of a growth in our interest income and the reduction in our costs. So, ladies and gentlemen, our profit grew from about 301.9 million CFA in 2015 to 382.9 million CFA in 2016. Now, what does that mean for my pocket and for yours? What it basically means is that the profit that will be available for distribution will have to go up. That number has moved from 290 million in 2015 to 380 million in 2016. Let's remember that we promised you that we will grow the dividend payout percentage at about a rate of 10% per annum until we reach the initial cap of 5%. 2015, the dividend payout percentage was 4.3%. 2016, it is about 4.9%. The growth is about 11.5%. So we have exceeded the 10% target that we said we were setting for ourselves. So that's basically for the numbers. Now, let's move on and look at the loan portfolios. As I originally said, look, more than 95% of the staff, i.e., 749 members of Mutual benefited from loans. Total benefited from loans in 2016. A bulk of the loans were actually between 2 million. A bulk of the loans were actually between 2 million and above. And I am happy to say that in terms of payback, that clearly is not an issue. The majority of the people took loans between 5 and 10 million. But for those of us who do not have the capacity that the rest have, 2 million, 1 million, 2 million was actually the area that we took, and these were made available. Now, let me move on and pick up your assignments. You gave us an assignment to do a constitutional review. We have done that. We have laid before you a draft for you to look at. It is a draft. We can only use it based on your approval. Our job is to take your instructions, go away, set the team, and work on it. I'm happy to announce to you that we have obeyed your instruction and we have done the job. Staff welfare. Clearly, we have said that we have only 3 staff who are managing this Mutual business for us, plus 10 million. We continue to keep our members and staff of Mutual as very primary in everything that we do. And that is precisely why, and I'm sure most of you will attest to this, that when you come and you're asking for loans, we stop everything and we do it for you. If there are issues, we raise them with you, and we give you options, and we try to help you. We will continue to do this into the future. And I know that all through into the future, I mean, the leadership will come from this House. You will continue from where we would have stopped. And you will continue to emulate the example of taking our own welfare, which is the reason why we established this Mutual union. You take it serious, and we will continue to grow it and be our brother's keepers. Now, lots of innovations that we have been looking at, because last year you told us that the world is moving on, and that we should continue to innovate. As you may observe, this year's meeting is very unique, as a couple of innovations have been introduced to spare attendance and gender amity among members, and in order to achieve wider coverage, the proceedings of the meeting has actually, as we speak now, been streamed live. So our members can actually log on to our website and follow what we are doing here today. This is a new innovation, and we will continue to innovate and innovate and innovate and make sure that access to information, access to everything that we do is available to all staff. You will also remember that last year when we had our annual general meeting, we didn't have a raffle draw. This year we have. Let me state that this raffle draw is not being funded from our Mutual money. It is our distinguished partners who basically have contributed to it. We send them a note of solicitation with no strings, with no compulsion, with nothing, and said, look, please help us, and they came back responding. Let me, as part of this presentation, inform you that Polo Homes Limited donated for the purpose of the raffle a 65-inch smart UHD LG television, and the value of that television is 1.250 million. I pray that whoever is my best friend wins this one, so I can always go to his home and watch. My only challenge is that virtually everybody is my best friend, so whoever wins should know that he will find me there watching. Now, the next gift for this raffle is an LG refrigerator, 802 liters, double-decker, valued at $550,000 naira from Polo Homes. The third one is an LG split 2-horsepower jet cool air conditioner. It's a gold AC, 220,000 naira. Yeah. Now, the total amount spent in furtherance and in recognition of our partnership with them is about 2.2 million. Can I invite everybody to give them a round of applause? This is commendable, and we're extremely happy. One of our other partners, as part of our asset product scheme, is Intercontinental Phones, who gave us two pressing irons, and these are all available for the most lucky people in here to win. Let me promise you, we will continue to innovate and innovate and innovate and innovate. Now, I think we also have a third one, Jim's Catering Services Limited. Yeah. Okay. All right. Originally, Papa promised an LG iWave microwave oven, but I'm sure for unforeseen reasons, she's not been able to honor it. But that is not to take the steam away from this important draw that we are going to hold. Now, on housing, ladies and gentlemen, let me say to you that as we started this drive to provide houses for opportunities for staff to own their own homes in late 2015, as we speak today, close to 100 of us have actually either signed up for homes with Polo Homes or are actually living in their homes in there without paying any deposit. This is one step, which is a major welfare step, and we will continue to pursue. Now, again, in presenting this housing initiative to members last year, you encouraged us to create options, and that is the reason why we have introduced Kanma Homes Limited to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this area is an area that we will continue to pursue, support, and grow. One of the things that we really want to avoid is the situation where staff want homes, and because they cannot pay deposits, they cannot have the homes. We will continue with your support, with your endorsement to move this in the right direction. Let me also say that at the end of last year, to be precise, the 21st of December 2016, we invited Polo Homes and staff who subscribe to homes to basically come and engage with us and listen to the concerns of staff. A number of issues were raised. One had to do with raising a wall to cover the front of the homes. The other one was meters. The other one basically had to do with fast-tracking the conclusion of the certificate of habitation and ownership, which you know is usually a challenge in Abuja, water, etc. I am happy to announce that basically all these have either been completed or at the very tail end of completion. With respect to the meters for the homes, Polo Homes generously bought those meters from the the authority responsible for it and distributed to only mutual staff who own homes on that side for free. So that has been done as well. So this area is key for us, and we will continue to pursue it with your support. Now, the last one, basically talking about future plans. Let me start by saying that having a 10-year strategic plan, given our capital base of more than $10 million today, is clearly important. This will be addressed this year, and we will clearly be coming back to you to give you a report as to how far we've gone on this subject. The second one is that we are setting for ourselves, and we will continue setting for ourselves, the target to make sure that we achieve the return in terms of dividend to members of 5% as defined in the dividend policy. Ladies and gentlemen, this year it is 4.9%. EXCO thinks that moving that to 5% clearly is something that is doable, and we are putting it in our new plans. Exactly 2 years ago, you gave this team the mandate to run the affairs of this body. So, this team here have done 2 years. Our constitutional arrangement, that term is closed. Our constitutional arrangement, again, we have to open it up to members to tell us what the next steps are. By constitutional arrangement, we can, as the same team, offer ourselves for renomination and for an extension. On the basis of that, and on the basis of the results that we have, I have presented to you, and on the basis of the fact that from the side of the Executive Committee, there is a willingness to continue